flat Earth?
No, I
Okay,
actually
that's
don't.
good.
I
That's
don't.
good. Good
I'm
job.
guessing you don't believe in
You
flat Earth either.
nope. Good job.
Okay.
You are normal. So there was this flat earther and daredevil named Mad Mike, and so his great idea to prove that the Earth is flat is that he is gonna make his own homemade rocket so he can see for himself that the Earth is flat.
What? Oh
And
boy.
so he launches himself in this literal homemade rocket, in this launch that looks like a goddamn railgun, like like aimed up into the sky, and he blasts off, right? And then 5 seconds in, his fucking parachute just pops out of his ship and it just falls to the ground, so he's fucked. And then he
Oh.
just shoots, just starts like trickling through the air, and eventually you just see like the ship just fall in the distance. It was so fucking funny. I just like I don't think he made it past the. I think maybe he did. I think he's like touched like the rim of the clouds and it started falling. It was the funniest shit ever. That he just put himself to his death by making a homemade rocket, and then he just died. I,
It took me a second to register when you said homemade rocket. And I was like, what?
you
Homemade?
if if you look up Mad Mike on YouTube, you're gonna see like the fucking news article. Mad Mike dies in like tragic rocket
Tragic.
accident.
Is it tragic? You made a
Oh yeah,
homemade
so
rocket.
Mad Mike dies from his homemade rocket. CBS Evening News. It's so funny.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
the video is so much funnier. Like watching it, because you could literally just see just something fall from the sky and just plop, and it was the funniest thing ever I've seen. Oh my god,
I
oh, that
mean,
was funny.
hey, in a combat, I mean, at least he was able to. No, I can't even say anything positive about this. this, I can't say nothing positive about this.
There's some
Wow.
positives. Just might piss a couple people off, so I won't say it.
I, I can't think of nothing to say that's positive. I mean, that's good that he made a homemade rocket. I mean,
We are here's one positive. We gained one example of why you shouldn't make a fucking homemade rocket, and you should probably
right.
leave it to the government that is well funded and isn't fucking insane. Just slightly corrupted, but we're not too insane. We're just
He gave us the example of what happens if you try to fly your own rocket into space. He gave us
yeah,
his
and
example.
it was so funny.
Wow.
Uh,
Ooh.
you got it. We
So
got a topic.
yeah. So it's not like a conspiracy theory, but like it's still like a theory. So
Yeah.
there's some people, a handful of people, who believe that the Earth is actually hollow.
Oh yeah, Hollow Earth theory.
Yeah, and that
Do you
there.
believe in it?
No, I don't believe in the hollow Earth theory. And there's people who claim that there are like big majestic creatures like 15 times the size of humans, and there's nothing but peace and love in the earth. And there was like this story of like this pilot claiming that he went to the I guess you can call it the second dimension or whatever.
A pilot?
Yes, a pilot. He was like, it
Like
was
an
like,
airplane pilot?
yes, like an airplane pilot.
Not even an astronaut or like anyone that works in NASA or something?
No, a genuine pilot
Okay.
who said that he flew into a hole, and he just landed in the inner world, and they were basically telling him like, oh yeah, civilization is going this route, and you better be careful with the water. And then he said he went there a few times, um, and then yeah, and then that was that.
What the fuck? What? I I'm gonna be honest. As much as I think how like silly or how silly I think conspiracy theories are, I love hearing them because I mean, for one, they just like say shit that I just wouldn't even think of.
Yeah,
Like, and it's just kind of fun to listen to them talk about. It's like, oh, I never thought about it like this.
yeah.
I know you're kind of wrong, but I mean, this is still pretty interesting how you found this like stuff. But like, Hollow. What?
Yeah.
My first question is why do they just assume that like their society is just like about love and shit? They're like They're like their lives are just stuck in rock. If anything, I feel like they'd just be more angry than the people up here.
Yeah. No, but yeah, he was basically saying like the people down there were basically being like, oh yeah, human civilization, you guys aren't doing good, and all the water's being used up, and there's a bunch of evil and war and hatred, all of the things people say. And
like in the Hollow Earth or like up here.
Up here that people are being bad and stuff. But down, apparently people in the Hollow Earth were claiming that we were trash. So yeah, I was listening to this Joe Rogan podcast with someone named Bob Lazar. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
And he said that he actually worked for Area 51. And he had a movie about it. He had books about it. And what do you think? Do you think that the government is hiding something in Area 51? Do you think it's just more than like,
I think the Area 51. I think the government hides a lot of things from people. I don't think they're fucking aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, for one, I feel like that'd be way harder to like keep that a secret than that is.
Mm-hmm.
And two, like, why would they keep it at Area 51? Like, wouldn't they like keep that shit like underground or something? I just like Area 51's a military base, correct?
Yeah.
So wouldn't they be like at a research lab or something? Like, or maybe there could be research labs in Area 51. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really.
What?
But like.
Yeah. You can finish what you're saying.
I don't know. Like, I think the government will like hide some stuff from the people, but like, alien, like, really? And just like when people like were raiding Area 51 and they're saying shit about aliens and shit and how there's gonna be like hot aliens and shit. I honestly couldn't tell. I couldn't tell they got diluted from like idiot or like from internet memers. They're just saying, oh yeah, the aliens are fucking hot ass bitches that are gonna want to fuck you, and then they just believe them for some reason, or they're literally just also memeing. I hope they're memeing because I think that's hilarious, and if not, I also think that's hilarious, but also sad that that was such a Ben Shapiro quote. Anyways, but that's also very sad that they think that. I don't know. As much as I'd like to say, yes, Area 51 is hiding cat girls that are going to fuck every man in the world. Sadly, I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah, and what Bob was saying in the podcast, he was saying that there were no aliens, but he was saying that down in area, because he said in Area 51 there's multiple different locations around. Was it Nevada? Is that where it is or something like that? And he was saying, he was saying that what they have aren't aliens, but like very high-tech technology that they don't know what to do with. Like the technology is so advanced that our knowledge at this day and age doesn't know what it's capable of. That's what he said that they do. And that got me in I was just like, although it's still a far stretch to make that claim, especially from somebody that we don't even know. But it's not as far-fetched as to say that there are aliens there and they're testing them and there's UFO crashes there and stuff like that. But to say that there's very high-tech technology that people are working on right now, that almost seems like believable in a way, Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was like, at least it's, because I feel like if humans were to ever meet aliens or another life form or whatever, I don't think it would just be peace. There would be war. I feel like people wouldn't know what to do with themselves because we bro, oh my, we would have answered the question that we are not alone. That's the big question. We're not alone. So if the humans find another life form, what is gonna happen?
I feel like there's gonna be a faction where that some asshole is gonna say, "Let's take over their land." My guess is that it's either gonna be, all right, out of the blue guess, China or America, and then there's gonna be the factions like, "No, we mustn't hurt the." I feel like, and I also feel like there's another point where it's just gonna be like the aliens attacked us first, and then like even on Earth, there's gonna be like that faction like, "We mustn't hurt the aliens. We must hurt the aliens. They're foreign. They don't know what they're doing." And shit like that.
Oh,
even though they attacked us first.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's very sad. But I hope, ideally, that the aliens are man, what would you want the aliens to be, Juan?
Like, what would I want them to do, or?
Actually, that was a stupid question. Actually, scratch that question.
Because if I don't want us to find another life form, because I feel like we wouldn't know what to do unless they made the first move. Like, it would really depend on them, if they came to us with peace, or if they came to us with aggression. If they came to us with peace, we're gonna end up taking advantage of that, and we're gonna try to, like you said, kind of overtake them in a way, kind of control them.
Yeah.
If they come at us with aggression, it's gonna lead to an all-out war. So I feel if we take advantage of another life form, or we fight with another life form, either way it's gonna end in conflict. So either way, if we ever meet another life form, it's gonna be the same end result, regardless on what it is. Because us humans, we want more. We get used to what we have and we want more. That's just natural. That's just normal. Everybody has that. When we meet a life form, we don't know. Clearly, they have high-tech technology. We want that. We're gonna try to take advantage of them and possibly fight them for it. Which could be bad for us depending on how intelligent they are. So I don't want to meet another life form. That's just my opinion.
I mean, yeah, but then I could also argue, like, what if the aliens are also like, what if the aliens are fucking dumber and they're still like in the caveman era, it's still like banging like caves with rocks in like on their own planet or like universe or something. I always like wonder, like, why do people instantly think that aliens just could be like smarter than humans? Like, I know like there's like been a lot of alien movies where like, oh my god, the aliens are invading like the Earth and they're in UFOs and shooting us with laser beams. They're like, oh my god, it's Halo time. We need to create Spartans or some shit. But like, what if the aliens are just like dumber or like just as dumb as us, and that's why we don't see any aliens?
That's true, but I mean, how they would have had to build some sort of rocket with technology to be able to travel at a very fast speed, almost light speed in a way, to meet us,
But like, why do they want to meet us? What if they're just like, I'm happy on this planet. Why do we have to go to the sky? I don't know. Want to get lunch? Yeah, let's go get lunch. I hate this. Yeah, I like lunch. I also like lunch. What if there's like a bunch of like non-progressive species that's like, that's want to eat lunch or something, and that's what they live for, and they don't want to be like, oh my god, we must go to the sky and search for aliens because they might be out there. They might just be like, let's go get lunch. I mean, that's kind of a boring vision, but I also like to put that in. I also like to say that because I always hear the aliens are gonna want to have progressive technology and they're gonna want to find us, the humans, and then I always ask, okay, but like, why do they want to find us? Like our greatest, I'm pretty sure our greatest human like feat is our bombs and maybe a rocket, and like that's kind of it. They can't really get it, or in a rocket. So I mean, I don't know how cool we are like compared to the aliens.
Yeah,
but for some reason, I don't think they're gonna want to visit us unless like they're dumber. But then I'd also have to argue, okay, if they're dumber than us, how'd they even get here?
Yeah, and there's also those who claim that aliens have already been here and were here before we were here. If we're taking that route, like I've always wondered, and I don't know, but how were those pyramids made? That's just a question that just runs through my mind. How were those
How was
pyramids
what
made?
made?
The pyramids.
Uh, Egypt.
The fact that they
The
were,
Egyptians.
but the fact that they were placed in such a way. I mean, you gotta remember this is a very long time ago. The Egyptians did not have the knowledge, did not have that technology to our technology or knowledge to build those type of buildings like that. And they did it so perfectly, you know, and their blueprint could not be good at all. You know, this is a very long time ago. And it's also like, okay, let's say they did build that, but those pyramids are located in such a way that they align with stars in the universe with different times in the throughout the year in different locations of the earth. Like that's some serious knowledge there and intelligence you need, which at a
Yeah.
time back then it it doesn't seem it's possible, yes, but it's like it gets you thinking like, man, that's that's kind of bizarre. It's out of place. What do you think about that?
I like to think of it like this. So let's say since it's back then, there's a bunch of war. People want to get land, and people want to get food, and they're hungry. All right. So there's Egypt, and they're making these pyramids. They're like, oh wow, I kind of noticed these star patterns. You know, this star looks like this star, and like a week ago there was a star pattern that looks the same as last week. Oh yeah, you're right. That's pretty crazy. Oh, hey, you want to make pyramids? Yeah, I don't want to make it. Let's make slaves make it. That's awesome. So where do you want to make them? Under the stars of the under the different patterns of the stars. That's genius. Oh, so how are we gonna make it? I don't know. Let's write down some blueprints. Oh, we made the blueprints. That's cool. And now they made the pyramids. And then guess what? About a week later, let's say, oh no, we're getting attacked. Oh shit, we are getting attacked. That's not very good. I hope we don't die. And guess what? They die. And guess what? The other like let's say like another civilization attack them, and they get these blueprints like, oh, what the hell is this? I don't know. Let's throw it away. Okay, and then they just destroy the information. So yeah, it could be aliens, or it could also just be like an accidental regression of knowledge from an unintentional destruction and of that knowledge. So I mean, yeah, it could be the aliens talk to the Egyptians for some unknown reason. I honestly don't know why would they would do that if they have the technology to go to other planets and we don't have like the technology to go to another country back then.
Yeah.
But my guess is that they were very smart. They got killed off, and like a lot of people got killed off. They just the other civilization probably could have destroyed the information because they just didn't really care about it. They didn't realize how valuable it could have gotten, and that's probably what happened. That's what I think. I feel like back then, during the times the pyramids were made, if the aliens really did come to Earth, unless they were like peaceful, you know, aliens, which would be very nice of them, and they're like, hey, make this, and then we do make it. For one, how would we communicate? Two, why would we communicate with them? Three, if the Egyptians back then saw a fucking floating saucer, for example, do you not think they just start freaking the fuck out and it's like, battle positions, we're being under attack?
Yeah, that's true, man. And yeah, and it's just because we just don't have the information. Like there's lack of information. There's this lack of evidence we can kind of go off of all those years ago. So it always kind of brings us back to a loop, you know, because at the end of the day, everybody has their own idea, you know, but it all comes back to so how were they made? Nobody has a concrete answer on that, and it's cool to think about these things because you just think and you're just like, wow, you know, how did that come to be and stuff.
And I think the way how I like to think of it is that Egyptian people back then are not that different from people now. I think the only major difference is that we have fucking phones and shit, and they don't.
Yeah, more technology.
And, like I don't see why like people back then would be like different. Like intellectually than us humans. I mean, like, we're educated, but I don't think, like, intellectually we're gonna be, like, much better than the people back then. They just simply didn't have knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that I'm smarter than Albert Einstein, but intellectually, Albert Einstein is quite smarter than me for, like, the shit he's done.
Yeah.
That's how I think it is.
Yeah.
So if we can equate, like, today's behavior with back then's behavior, because I think for now that's the most I've gotten, or that I can really go off of, then that's how I would imagine it go down. Because let's say I'm hungry, I have no food, then what do? I guess I'll try and rob something. You know, I might not do that. Not everyone does that, but some people will do that, and then they rob them. And I see something useless that they have, and I just throw it away because I don't understand it. So I mean, I don't think, or that's how I think it is. People have always been the same. It's just a matter of small different details that change it.